Yo, what is happening? Good evening, or, well, should I say good night? This is a very, very late upload, guys. I did a video, about 20 minutes ago I uploaded one. It was meant to go out yesterday, saying that why haven't they still talked about skill-based matchmaking? And then, oh, look, they talk about it, which meant I had to upload that video pretty much instantly. So I'm making this one. I might even take that video down because it's just a pointless video now. Actually, I will take it down. So if you was one of the few people to actually see the video of me talking about, well, why haven't they talked about skill-based matchmaking, you're one of the lucky few. So if you don't follow me on Twitter, guys, please make sure you go and follow me on Twitter. There you can go. You can see me handle or whatever it's called. Bit of new artwork. I've been messing around with some of this AI art stuff. So let's get on with the video, guys. So obviously, I hate skill-based matchmaking. I just think it's a terrible thing. Everybody's been asking for, well, not everybody according to what Activision's going to say, but anyway, we're going to read through it and we're going to talk about it in our no-nonsense approach. But ultimately, guys, it is not good news for anybody unless you are an absolute garbage player at the game. I'm an average player and even I don't want it in. So, again, let's go through it all. It might be a long video. So, Call of Duty has released a list of answers to frequently asked questions about multiplayer matchmaking from the COD community. So the first thing is, does Call of Duty consider player engagement time played as a factor in matchmaking? We do not consider how often or how much you play when determining matchmaking. Now, I kind of don't believe this. Again, guys, right, there's loads of people on social media right now taking for granted that we are being told the truth from Activision. Yes, I know they've just laid loads of people off. Yes, I know now they're owned by Microsoft, but I don't trust a word Activision says. We all know how scummy of a company they are, and even though they're owned by Microsoft now, it's going to take time to change that company from within because the majority of those scumbags still work there. I've had it where I've not played COD for a long time. I go on, play one game, and I do incredibly well, and I'm like, wow, it's fun again. And then all of a sudden, it's not fun. Next game, it's back to normal. So I don't really believe that, if I'm being honest. So does Call of Duty matchmaking process impact in any game elements such as hit registration, player visibility, aim assist, damage, etc.? Now, what they're saying is that basically, does Call of Duty have engagement optimized matchmaking? And they're going, no, our matchmaking process does not impact gameplay elements. Now, when I'm reading that, ladies and gentlemen, that's kind of not really telling us have they got an algorithm in the background, because they're saying a matchmaking process. You know, we know that matchmaking's got nothing to do with it. We want to know if there's an algorithm. Well, there is anyway. We know there's an algorithm in the background. We know engine optimized matchmaking, as it's a lot of people's called it. But we know there's algorithms in the background what modify things depending on certain gameplay experiences. There's patents out there to say that. So they've said, no, our matchmaking process does not affect any gameplay elements. But they've not gone as far to say nothing whatsoever in our game doesn't impact gameplay elements. So take that with a pinch of salt, guys. Again, you're dealing with a scumbag corporation here where they will word things in a certain way so that they can get away with not telling you an outright lie. So many people on the internet now just believing, Daddy Activision. And we know what they like. So anyway, does spending money on Call of Duty content such as bundles, battle passes, or Black Cell change how players are matched? Money spent does not in any way, shape, or form factor into matchmaking. That is a lie. That is a lie. I'm sure somebody's going to do a better video than me at some point. We've actually seen, again, a patent where they refer to somebody as a junior player. It will match a junior player against an expert player, as they called, who has bought a different weapon skin because they want the junior player to emulate the senior player. So again, guys, they are fucking lying. Liars. Liars. I'm sure somebody will pull those patents up and look at them and call them a big, fat corporation of liars. So does Call of Duty use bots in multiplayer matchmaking? They've put Call of Duty multiplayer does not use bots as part of the general matchmaking process. What do you mean, as part of the general matchmaking process? A better answer would be Call of Duty multiplayer does not use bots in normal modes. It only uses bots in custom lobbies. So, what do they mean? Call of Duty multiplayer does not use bots as part of the general matchmaking process. Does a general matchmaking process mean that when there's a lot of players online available for your skill bracket, is that what it means? So if there's not people online for your skill bracket, it puts bots in? Who knows, guys? So, do partners or content creators get special consideration in general matchmaking? No, we do not change the matchmaking process based on who owns the account. In specific cases, such as for events like Call of Duty Next, we may be required to customize how lobbies are formed. However, these events usually take place in private matches and do not impact general matchmaking. So, I kind of don't understand this because remember ages ago, guys, when people could actually spoof the lobbies, you know, when the API was available? When the API was available, people were looking at streamers' average KD in lobbies in Warzone, and it was always significantly lower than the average players. So, work that one out. So, next question. Have you ever considered an opt-in, opt-out system for the matchmaking algorithm? Our data suggests that splitting the player base with an opt-in, opt-out matchmaking system will have negative consequences on the overall player pool. That means potentially longer wait times based on the time of matchmaking selected, plus adding to the playlist, map and mode, history and platform and more, and matches with poor connections. They'd have better connections if they didn't have, you know, skill-based matchmaking, but anyway, can't really, you know, nothing really much to talk about that one. Have you ever tested removing skill as a consideration from matchmaking? This is the one what pisses me off more than anything. We have run tests over the years to determine if removing skill as a consideration from matchmaking makes sense. We will continue to launch these tests periodically. To date, the data remains consistent with what we've detailed above. Players, aka no-life losers who are going to work at McDonald's their entire life, tend to quit matches or stop playing if they're getting blown out. Poor old new players who have got no motivation to get better at anything, so they've got to be put in the same classroom, so to speak, as the dumbest of the dumb, so they can actually feel like they're not that fucking dumb anymore, because it's got normalized how dumb they are because other dumb people are with them, resulting in a negative overall experience for all players in the lobby and the general population. We purposely do not disclose when these tests occur because it may impact feedback or the data during these tests. And then they've gone, have you ever considered removing skill from matchmaking in specific general multiplayer game modes? We have considered this in the past and we will continue to examine if this idea makes sense as part of an experimental playlist or in a specific mode. We have nothing to announce on that as of right now. So that's kind of one of the Q&As. There's like loads of other things going on, guys. And like they've even come out and said they've revealed how they determine skill in their multiplayer match system. So they're saying skill is determined based on a player's overall performance, kills, deaths, wins, losses, and more, including mode selection and recent matches as an overall metric across all multiplayer experiences. This is a fluid measurement that consistently updating and reacting to your gameplay. Skill is not only a factor in matchmaking players against appropriate enemies, but also when finding teammates. So it's obviously saying there's lobby balancing as well. We all knew this were going off. Let's be honest, guys. We all knew this were going off. We all knew it wasn't going to go away. But it just shows like how pathetic Call of Duty is now as a franchise. They'd rather protect the losers in society who want their handheld via these participation trophy medals, whatever you want to call it, instead of having the good old philosophy of you buy a video game. If you've never played said video game before, you are going to suck at it. They even used to advertise the game as Christmas noobs are here, have fun, good players over Christmas, slaying noobs. It's kind of the way society is going, and the reason why we've got skill-based matchmaking in Call of Duty is because it's made by a bunch of woke liberals who have that kind of a philosophy on life, that they want to be inclusive to everybody, and they want to punish people who actually want to spend time and effort playing their game. But the biggest problem, guys, here is that all you fuckers continue playing it and bitching and moaning about it. If you all stop playing it, if all the better players stop playing it, they would do something about it. But all you do is sit on social media, all these big YouTubers, content creators, bitch and moan 24/7 about how they hate Call of Duty, yet you continue playing it and giving it views, giving it publicity on YouTube, Twitch, whatever social media platform you're on. You know, it's pretty simple. Don't play the game anymore. I don't play the game, and I will not play this game unless it gets rid of skill-based matchmaking. That is the only way I'm going to play COD. And if you're similar in the mindset as I am, just stop playing Call of Duty. You know, the game is made for losers now. It is made for straight-up degen losers who want to have the handheld by daddy and mummy Activision going, here you go, you sit in the corner with the other dumb folks, because then you'll actually think you're not that dumb. We're going to separate you. And it's a terrible, terrible life lesson, because it's like, oh, look, we're going to let this guy operate on somebody because we don't want him to be left out. We want this guy to perform open heart surgery, brain transplant, whatever you want to call it, yet he's not qualified. It's just a shitty, shitty way of doing it. Why have ranked in the game? You know, why even have ranked in Call of Duty anymore? But again, this is the single biggest problem with Call of Duty is skill-based matchmaking. I'm pretty sure there's algorithms in the background. They're obviously saying it doesn't affect the matchmaking process per se. But again, there's algorithms. We've seen with our eyes, there's patents, whatever you want to call them, I'm triggered, that there's things out there which alter the matchmaking through algorithms. So it's not the matchmaking system, it's algorithms. We've seen patents. So like I've said, this what Modern Warzone's put on his Twitter, if this is at the actual QA and he's not, and he's done it word for word, this straight up line, guys. This straight up line, but everybody's thinking that one of the most scummiest companies in the world are going to be honest all of a sudden. We know what's gone off in Activision before. We've heard about all the things going off behind closed doors, which rear their head in public, and then everybody starts going, oh my God, this is awful, this is awful. You've got to understand, guys, you know, Activision are a scumbag company. Same as EA. All they care about is making money. And skill-based matchmaking ultimately makes them money. Otherwise, they won't do it. But again, the only way this is going to change if you all stop playing Call of Duty instead of bitching and moaning about it 24/7 on social media. Stop playing it like I have. If you enjoy Call of Duty in its current state, I'm happy for you, but you're probably one of those people who are sat with other dumb people and you don't actually realise that you're shit at the game and you actually think you're quite good when really you're not. What's the point of having KD ratios anymore, guys, in Call of Duty? What's the point of playing the objective? What's the point of having a scoreboard? Get rid of the scoreboards, guys. We may as well just get rid of the fucking scoreboards. We don't need a scoreboard. We'll do what Battlefield 2042 did on release. Just don't have a scoreboard. Get rid of kill streaks. Just get rid of everything, guys. There's no point playing it. I'm done. I'm done, guys. If this video gets, I don't know, 20 likes, I'll make another one. But yeah, Call of Duty sucks.